Baby, it's an amazing little spot here. So you guys, you're kind of, when you arrived here, you knew what you were doing because you'd already had a huge success over in Rathgar 2021. It was like a homecoming for you guys. I'm guessing it was always in the back of your mind, I would like to end up in Greystones too, because this is where we're from.
Yeah. Well, I'm Monkstown, Dunleary originally. But
What?
Laura, yeah, I know. I'm really a blow-in, so we rely on Laura for the Greystones, the inside info, you know.
We're blow-ins as well. I think everyone's
unless it's 400 years, you're a blow-in. That's it. But was it a big kind of, leap into the dark? Was it a sense of, well, we know what we're doing, and Greystones is a place that likes their kind of well-being and having a little bit of luxury.
This is where we're from, and this is where we're bringing up our families. So we always wanted to bring business home. But yeah, I think from setting up in Dublin and then moving to Rathgar, we did feel like we're finding our feet. But there's always stuff to learn, in this sort of wellness business.
But you've done an outrageous job here, because I remember when you started, it was lovely, very basic, but now it's almost like a little kind of village of its own, like where you step in and also the fact that you do feel like you're sort of inside a space that's sort of just given over to all this.
Yeah, well, it's quite secluded. I mean, that's one of the things that people like, is that they come in and then they're kind of you're kind of protected. You know what I mean? You have these beautiful old stone walls here, which you couldn't build or buy.
Yes.
And then just the place itself, we didn't have to do. There's a couple of little tweaks. Yeah. But the place itself, the yard itself, does a lot. It's great being beside the other guys here. Sure. The burrito box and the bus and the gallery and roots and that as well. And the creperie next door. So you feel like it's kind of part of a nice little kind of community. So, and again, it can be a blessing and a curse being so secluded. So we just want to let people know exactly where we are.
Sure.
Tucked around the corner in the boatyard.
Well, the fact that you're on the harbour too, one of the obviously the most busiest kind of seafront is always a place where people want to go in any town, but you're in a nice sort of situation where you are hidden, but you're also hidden in plain sight, that you're right there where people would want to go. And
I think with both locations we've kind of tried to blend into the surroundings. So like in the city, we're trying to make an oasis in the city. And here in the boatyard, again, similar. We're just trying to use the beauty that's already around us and just try and have people come in and walk out super calm and chilled, relaxed, and
this is perfect for fat people like me who don't want to be seen in the sauna.
This sauna is for every single type of body, everybody's sauna.
And that's one of the things with the facilities as well, the showers and the tubs. Like you don't have to go to the sea if you don't want to.
Sure.
And again, we've been asked before. We've been asked a few times. People will come and say, "Oh, I'm not a sea swimmer. Can I still use the sauna?" And because we've always been in the city and the yard, with the sea for me, and sea and sauna don't necessarily go together. Which is a funny thing coming to Greystones, where it's all about the sea. So it's just.
But you don't need a dry robe to get in here. You're okay with that.
No. There's actually a tax. There's a 20% tax on dry robe. So.
Now, your roots in this. Now, you were going up to Wicklow Hill. You had a Native American has his sweat lodge.
Carl Bighart.
Right. And was that something that I don't know whether you guys are deep down quite hippie-ish, or whether there's always an area that you. Well, what I mean is, there's always something you loved.
Whatever they want.
Right. But was it always a world you loved?
We both have a history of sweating from quite young, from a young adult. A friend of mine's mum would have introduced me to sweat lodging. Right. Which would be like a ceremony. And it's just a really nice way to sweat.
Wow.
And then Rob would have had, we only met each other 10 or 11 years ago, so he had his own introduction to sweating. So
right.
I used to be part of the kind of core crew, so I'd be building the fires, carrying the stones. So I was involved in the setup and the actual conducting of the ceremony, I suppose, under the guidance of Carl Bighart. So that was, and then we were in London for a long time, so I kind of lost touch with that.
Right.
That end of things. It's hard to find a sweat lodge in central London. But Carl is actually back again the end of the month.
Oh, nice.
He's up in Ballina so I'm going to go back and
revisit he's the real Native American. He's not like some Talalad just with a few feathers. No. Okay, that's nice. Hello, sir. How are you? Hi, Sonny. How are you, kid?
The boss man.
Yeah. I was just thinking he might make his way over with that water gradually. We just feel more and more wet coming. So I know that right now too, you've got a very special offer that where you're nice big reductions where you're taking the 10 people private group rather than 150, it's 100.
Yeah.
And then you've also got your hours only like your 45 minutes is 12 instead of 17.50.
Yeah.
So that's a huge saving and a great way to introduce yourself to the idea because
it's just about making sauna accessible for everyone because you understand that the price of everything are gone up. Like again, our costs have gone up, everything's gone up for us, but again we found we're just trying to find a happy medium where we can really offer something that's kind of unique and something that's really good value while also paying the bills and staying open.
Has it been a shock to the system now when you go from Rathgar and you're so used to the clientele and all that, then you come to Greystones and everyone's much better looking? Is that a sort of, does it kind of catch you by surprise? Or
I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder, isn't that what they say?
There you go, the beer holder I think is.
Nice. We've lots of mirrors, so when we want to see beauty we can.
Yay!